Hello. Sorry about the big break in uploads. It wasn't planned, I just got hit with a nasty procrastination spell and my regular schedule shifted a bit with my life changing some. So mix in that with my haphazard way of prioritizing things, and that doesn't make for a great combo. But I am back about a month late to deliver, hopefully, another interesting lecture. What does it mean to be selfish? The internet says actions or motivations that don't have any consideration for others, typically for one's own personal gain. That makes sense. I'm sure most people would agree with that. And everyone is or has been selfish in one way or another. Some more than others. Like, I don't know, maybe you took the last soda in the fridge or left a chore for someone else to do. Little inconveniences like that. Or things more dangerous, like driving drunk, taking advantage of the kindness of others. Or if you're a business owner, cutting hours, going cheap on safety equipment and hardware, underpaying staff, jacking prices, and neglecting problems until you literally can't ignore them. That last one was personal, and a shared experience that I and many others unfortunately have felt. With all of that being said, obviously it's a bad thing to be selfish. But I say only to a degree, because it's in our nature to be selfish. It was a survival instinct that we as humans evolved with. It played a role in our decision-making and determined the outcome of a lot of people's lives before we had established societies. Like, why should someone else survive over me? If it's my life or someone else's on the line and they aren't important to me, what sense would it make to put their life before mine? That way of thinking on that scale is perfectly fine. It makes sense for a human to choose their own survival over another, if push comes to shove. However, it is still flawed. When you begin to factor in everything else, like, why should your life be worth more than theirs? What if they have a family or a group to get back to? Or what if they're about to do or create something invaluable for the rest of the world? And on the other end of the spectrum, what if they're pure evil? What if they're more selfish than you are? What if their very existence on this planet makes the world worse off? Very quickly, it gets complicated. And suddenly, just assuming it makes more sense to put yourself over a stranger sounds like a bad idea. Or at least to me. The best way to tackle this higher level of selfishness, what I would consider the more corrupt kind, a way of thinking that is the product of an evolutionary trait gone too far, is critical thinking and consideration, obviously. It's really simple putting it down on a text document and reading it, because it's literally the opposite of the definition of selfish. Once again, I've convinced myself that the solution to a big problem is moderation, because it would be unreasonable to expect everyone to go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and just, I don't know, give up everything that they possibly can for another random person just on a whim. I guess it really is just a part of growing up, learning moderation in all walks of life, dialing in that perfect balance of care for others and care for yourself. I'm guessing we've all been in a position where we give and give and give, and it doesn't feel like enough, so we keep devoting as much as we can to someone we care about, and they take advantage of you. Maybe you have a friend, partner, or family member that's mentally unwell, and you fear that they could pose a threat to themselves or others if they're left unchecked. So you do the right thing, and you shower them with attention, you listen to them, and you remind them that they're cared for. In a perfect world, this is exactly what we should do for others, as clearly they would need it. However, your generosity may be in vain because the other person could be like a black hole, taking and draining you of all you can give. stretching your mental bandwidth thin, depleting your emotions, and leaving you worse off. They could be a parasite, totally unwilling to better themselves because it's easier to just drain those around them. In a perfect world, people like that don't exist. But in this world, people like that manipulate anyone willing to throw them a bone. Not to say that everyone who is struggling is going to be a sap on those around them. Almost no one is like that, thankfully. This was just an example of what can shape someone's experiences with generosity and selfishness. Maybe after that they will feel that they don't want to give as much anymore for their own sake, and their whole outlook on the world has changed. They're more wary of those around them, more hesitant to form close bonds. They become closed off and cold for the sake of preservation, and one can only hope that they'll open up again one day. And after that depressing and hopefully not relatable spiel, there's the other side, the hopeful side. Maybe, once again, you have a loved one that is struggling, and you do your absolute best to support and help them. In turn, they see the efforts of you and those around them, and see it as enough of a reason to heal and grow. You then have helped shape another human being into a better version of themselves, and overall made the world a better place. It's an incredible feeling, a euphoric one, to help someone and watch them blossom. That positive experience will leave you more inclined to be generous, and you'll probably find yourself wanting to lend a hand more and help others more. It's just to be more outgoing in general. This brings up another thing that I find interesting, and that is the personal reward for generosity. Giving a gift, physical or memorable, it's always a good feeling. You know, we wouldn't give gifts if it didn't feel good to give and receive them. That makes it more mutual of an emotional exchange. It's very rewarding and fulfilling. And since that's the case, does that make it selfish to give? If we only give because we get a reward, then does that mean there's no such thing as being truly selfless? Does that even matter? I'm not really sure. This is the question that I want to leave all of you with. Mull it over, sleep on it, say it's stupid if you think it's stupid, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined, giving insight to the question. I've seen some of you who have commented have very bright minds, and I'm interested to see what they think. If you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me, especially after having uploaded for this long. So leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you got something to say, subscribe if you're really feeling that generous, and have a fantastic day.